What are the roots that clutch? What branches grow out of this stony rubbish? Son of man, you cannot say or guess, for you know only a heap of broken images. Speaking of which, let's play Wolfenstein. Yes, let's get back into things immediately, we shall. We are going to the warehouse, which is in here. It's located through a place. This is a really badly designed level. We'll get to why in just a minute, but first there's some gold for us. And there's also a statue of a woman there, but we're entirely unconcerned with that. We've got to locate the Kodal McBook. There she is. She's holding up her what's-it. That's naughty of her. Meanwhile, this guy's going to bust his way through here, and there's a bit of chartage there, telling us of planes and such like. Now, up here there would have been a conversation had we not caused such a ruckus about the General Secretary, who they suspect is not a secretary at all. That is Bridget from the introduction. They have heard from the internet that Bridget is a dude, you see. It's terrible. So we'll cludge them with our hammer, because if we had a hammer, which we do, we would hammer in the morning and the evening and upon the Nazi skulls. So let's search through there and see what we got. We've got to read the intelligence. There we go, processing it, and...
Achtung! Security has been increased due to rise in thefts.
Now you've got to wonder about this. Since it starts with the word Achtung, does that mean that the original document, which was presumably in German, actually starts with the English word attention? Or am I thinking about this too much? I don't know. So we have bypassed that, and this man's going to throw the door open, but we threw his skull out of his containment, and so he was defeated. Oh, over here's another bag of gold. This is probably the only universe in which you would drop a bag of gold at a police officer's feet and he'd write you a citation for littering. It's just terrible like that. So we've pulled the lever now. We are out of the first room. So let's throw that hammer over there where it may live for the rest of its days, and then go out here to find a pre-rendered cutscene that doesn't make any sense. Now you might notice this is pre-rendered because you can see the lighting's different on that. And this guy here, Wolfgang Stutz, he was actually in the ending to Return to Castle Wolfenstein, which was good for him.
Another attempt on my life. Fools.
The cowards, the fools.
Immediately, sir. Very well. But you, place the guards on full alert. Yes, sir.
Okay, now the reason this doesn't make any sense is he's going to hand the codebook to his subordinate here, because he says he's going to his house. However, what then happens is that both of them walk in the same direction where the safe isn't, into an office which only has one door, while meanwhile we are standing where the General Stotz's house actually is. So I'm kind of guessing that they did the rendering to that before they had actually planned out the level, which was stupid. That's not the only stupid thing about this level. Let's go through the list. The problem with these secondary type levels, the optional missions, is that except the last one, all of them have a set of common factors. The first problem with them is that they're all too small. They're too small for the AI to actually even work properly. What tends to happen is that because all of the AI type dudes spawn at once, you will cause a sound which will result in every enemy in the level coming from all over the place and climbing out of your trousers in order to defeat you. So you'll just end up socked down in one room, killing everyone for about 3 minutes, and then walking through a completely empty level. It's nonsense. The second problem with these levels is they're all lazy. They consist almost entirely of recycled geometry and square rooms. Most of them are just 2 big rooms. 3 of them are just one building interior, and this one isn't much better. So we've got a bit more fighting to do here. Okay. The majority of them also have only one enemy type, which doesn't help matters. This one's just Wehrmacht type soldiers, and so is the next one, and the third one, the SS base, is just SS people. The fourth one has a bit more stuff, and again, the radio station is exempted from that because it's actually a really good level. The third problem with these is they're not in the plot. Despite the fact that we're going to kill a Nazi general at the end of the next mission.
Has been taken to the castle as per the orders of General Zeta.
That's
Squad
nice.
patrols can return to the normal security status, but checkpoints are to remain fully staffed at all times. Checkpoints will remain at heightened security until we capture those who are responsible for selling weapons to the resistance.
Has everyone got the idea that people are selling weapons to the resistance yet? Okay, so the basic problem is they're not in the plot. Because these are optional missions, the game has no way of telling if you've done them or not, because obviously, putting effort in would be far too much work. So they're not integrated into the plot at all. Wolfgang starts there, it's never mentioned whether you kill him or not, and this whole codebook thing, it does nothing. The fourth problem is that there's no special reward for doing these. Aside from the usual stuff, which you get for doing everything anyway, you don't really get anything for doing these missions. There's no, extra weapon or, alternate reward or anything like that. It's just standard nonsense.
Is beginning to suspect me. But tell your brother Stefan I will honor our agreement. The shipment of ammunition will be waiting for you at the appointed location. Payment had better be prompt.
Maybe I shouldn't put the evidence in filing cabinets. The other problem with these missions is that out of 15 missions, if you're being insanely generous, there are 5 of these. So there are both too many compared to the number of actual missions and too few in general. They are all kind of pointless. So we've gunned those dudes down here, and here is a very cruel intel which is hidden under the corner of a desk, you see. So let's try and pick it up. It will fail to pick it up, but we'll try some more. We will try so hard that eventually we are sure to succeed. There we go. So we picked up the intel and let us read it, scan it with our mind, and...
Warehouse guards are restricted from drinking at the Raven's Nest Tavern while on duty.
How are you supposed to drink at a tavern while you're on duty at a warehouse?
Inebriation while on patrol are punishable by death.
Right, okay, so that's another threat to kill people for screwing up, for those of you keeping track, so that's good as well. That's another problem with these intels, is that most of them are just completely pointless. They don't really extend the story at all, they just contain daft threats, and meanwhile there is a crossy thing, but there is also death around. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. I guess no one's swept up or anything. So we got ourselves another bag of gold here, and then we got ourselves another inexplicable veil portal. Okay. Now, as per my previous comments on this particular subject, to drop on some geists and kill them, which was cruel of us. I guess they're not dropping proof. Why would they put a door which only allows you to get into their safe? What is the point of that? What manner of Nazi wizardry would do that? So anyway, we're going to pick these things up, and this statue here will glare at us, and meanwhile the Nazis have stolen that painting as well. Is there any end to the theft of that painting? Nobody is sure, so let's see if we can get through here. We can't club it down, so we are going to have to shoot our way out instead. So, load that back up and carry on. Ow. Right, so we got explosioned, which was cool of them, so we're gonna have to now make our way out of this place, and then we can go to the officer's house. But firstly, we will have to waste our time going back to the base so that we can be told to do that, even though it is fairly easy to surmise. There's a nice car there, but we can't steal that, so let's make our way out into the square again. We'll throw a grenade at that truck because it looked like it had dastardly Nazi planage. And we'll have a grenade thrown at us back, you see. It did have dastardly Nazi planage. It was a grenade-throwing truck. That's horrifying. So, we're going to do a sort of 100% run thing here. It's now a depressed and crumbly truck, you see. That was our plan the whole time. We'll get rid of him there, and then we will have to gun down the last few dudes here, because we're doing a very 100% runish type thing. These guys have come out from behind those crates which contained them. I guess it's where they live. So, let's that loaded up, and then we can just go back out here for a minute to finish off the last few guys. There's our hammer occupying space and time as well. So, there's the last few guys. They have spawned out of their places now, and they are all ducking around a door in an action-packed and frenetic manner. That's him out the way too. You can also climb up those crates there, just in case you want to get up to the office and prove that he has vanished and teleportized from there. If only we knew about his desk drawer personal teleporter, we could have followed him easily, but we can't, that's what. So, there she is again. We don't approve, so we are going to leave this silly place now. We have warehoused the warehouse, and now we're going to return to Midtown. There we go. So...
For some time now, the Kreisau Circle has been intercepting top-secret Nazi communications, but couldn't decode them.
And it's not going to matter.
I took over a mission for an injured agent and agreed to steal a code book that would help them.
You wait until you hear why the code book needs a little augmentation. It's really, really stupid.
Find it.
Okay, so we fought our way through and found it in a completely inexplicable manner. We have finished the warehouse, and we have golden intel for that. And meanwhile... Wait, that statue wasn't there. This is a lie. This screen is trying to deceive us with the geography of that room, but we won't be fooled, my friends, we shan't. Instead, we'll make our way out into this square, where a box will fall down for no good reason. Welcome to Let's Play Homefront again, I suppose. Yeah, so, that's him out the way, and now men are going to shoot at us from over here, but we are wise to their tricks now. We've seen them one too many times, and we are not going to be fooled again. Meanwhile, other men are going to shout at us. This over here is the officer's house, so that is how far he had to go. And it's kind of amazing that they've managed to not figure out where the black market is, considering it's like literally the next building along from the warehouse. I guess their searches have really mostly centered on their own shoes or something. So let's drop down here and spend our money. He's gonna tell us we're back again, and here is more proof that that mission is not part of the plot. He's just gonna talk about there being something big in the dig site again. So anyway, let's talk to Dracula and upgrade our weaponry. We will now have a bigger and more boring MP40, which has damages and upgradaties. We'll have another look in these cabinets, but they still don't have any surprises for us, so that's enough of that nonsense. So we're going to climb up here and... Yeah, shut up, you scumbag. Right, so now we've done that, let's go and pick up our missions. We're going to take back the codebook and squeak to the injured Kreisau agent in the main house-type place. So we'll climb over these dustbins and do that. Meanwhile, Hitler is Deutschland in feet. Right, so Deutschland is metricated. That's a lie. It's a piece of Nazi propaganda trying to fool us into using our American measurements and thus giving ourselves away, no doubt. So let's pull out our sniperty rifle. There you go, Deutschland in groin, not feet. Aha! I'm wise to their trickery, and I've got my gun device, which will allow me to defeat them. Also, I've since found out regarding this silly thing on the end of our gun. It's actually part of the barrel shroud of an MG34. Which has to be the single most ghetto method of accurizing a rifle I've ever heard of. Let's just stick part of the barrel of a machine gun on the end of it, because that's sure to make some differences. So we get ourselves a bit more gold there, but we don't really need it right now, because there's a mountain over there menacing us, it is. Either that or it's a giant limpet. Meanwhile, siege. And the less said about that, the better, so we're not going to say anything about it. Right, so over here we go. We're going to go through this here tunnel, but no, we're not. No, that's, I'm going to take myself by surprise here by going over here and having a quick look around, but there's nothing here. I was being a fool, I was. But there is something in here, so let's go and find out what it is. There we go. Club the door down and speak to this man. What do you got to say for yourself, you ugly fellow? Got a bag of gold in his top shelf?
There's something wrong about his eyes. Like he sees things no one else can see. He doesn't go out much. But we have heard that he was seen at the
something wrong with your eyes too.
Outside of town. Security
well, that's news to me. Oh my god, this clock has no hands. Clearly time does not pass in this place. It's a timeless game.
Have you seen it? It's hard
How
to
can
miss
you
something
not see
that
it?
big. What's
Oh, they're talking about me now.
It must be another one of General Zetter's toys.
General Zetter plays some very strange games, Zeppelin Tag. But anyway, let's have a look through here and read the intelligence here. Right, so what have we got here then? We have got the plans to our gun. That's marvellous. And that's where you, if you read that, which you probably can't, that's where it tells you it's an MG34 barrel shroud thing. So let's club him because we don't care about him.
Go away. We have no time.
The Nazis apparently give up very easily out there. As they move in, retreat now. I guess they were frightened by a scary looking rock or something, I don't know. But meanwhile, this guy is not going to retreat. He has retreated forwards. That's not on. That's not how you do it at all. So let's retreat forwards towards this guy. We missed him, we did, from point blankety range, and then we took out our least favorite one of those cobblestones. That's not going to help us, so instead we're going to have to take out our least favorite one of these Nazi people over here instead. Right, so we've gunned them down, and there's one man hiding around the corner. But that's not going to help him because he's not going to receive covering fire from us. Right, that's him out the way. So, load that up, and then we have to get rid of this guy here as well for reasons which escape me. And then there are some barrely things there. We are threatened by them. So we'll have a quick look around here, but it will all resolve as nothing. You, sir, you are to blame for that, and I blame you for it. So, that's the last of these guys out the way, and now we're actually going to go to the Kreisau Circle safe house, I believe. But first we're going to go down here to pick up some veiledness, which we don't need. There it is, glowering away. So, we've picked that up. You might also notice that now we've got the inner light, we've got 25% extra to our bar, so it's at 50% extra, in fact, 25% of the whole. So that gives us more time in the Veil, and as you might guess, there is an extra 25% upgrade that we can get as well. But now we're going to find out what's actually up here. We're going to crawl forth and get the rewards for doing so. There's a Veil thing there, but we don't need it. Instead, we're going to climb up here. This is one of the places where you actually need to know that, well, not here specifically, but up there is one one of the places where you need to know that using the veil allows you to jump further, which it never really tells you. It allows you to work out the implications instead, and there's more grenades there. But we're not interested in that, want this bar of gold instead. Meanwhile, over there's a painting, perhaps a painting of a painting, I don't know. It might be some sort of optical delusion, but we're not going to look more at that. There's a giant Nazi eagle there, so we'd better be wary of that swooping down from the sky to eat our brains. But I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon, because BJ doesn't have any. So let's have a look in the veil. We're gonna make a dramatic leap across this here structure to the other one. Meanwhile, that Geist is going to drift into the roof and vanish, which is unhygienic. So up here we go, and we're going to go across here, because obviously doing all of this jumping is much easier than just shooting off the padlock over there, because that padlock is made from bulletproofium, you see. All this stuff floating up into the sky actually is relevant. You'll see what that actually means later, but for now it is a blottle McTwist, which hasn't happened yet, and so it will be left to the future. You,
Everyone's
sir,
talking
what are you up
about your
to?
mission at the dig site. It's good to
But
see
not my mission at the
someone
warehouse.
finally strike back against General Zeta. We've already had
What was
several
it the emphasis on
civilians join the
someone there?
Kreisau Circle because
Was
of
he
your
saying it
victory.
wasn't me?
Keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have met the approval of Uglington there, so that's me sorted now. I need no more proofs of future. What happened to you? Okay, so Senator Partington there has faded back into existence.
Yankee,
Meanwhile,
you
you,
looked at
sir,
the
what do you
code
got to
book
say?
Stole from the warehouse, but it's encoded.
What?
You'll have to steal the code wheel from the officer's home. Oh, leave no witnesses alive. Check your map to find where the officer lives.
Okay, so the code book is in code. Isn't that rather like opening a safe and finding there's another safe inside it? And it doesn't make any sense. I could kind of get it if it was like, you know, the code book was to like give you settings for the code wheel or something. That would actually make some kind of sense. But no, we're going to do this instead.
Blow up anything interesting?
Caroline, the team is meeting heavy resistance as they move in on the church.
All right,
Right.
Moskowitz. We've been watching the Nazis construct some strange device in an abandoned church. They sent an attack team, but they could use your help. I marked the location.
Well,
on
clearly
the
it's
map.
some sort of
Be careful
scientific
out there.
machine. It's a shame. It's a shame you never get your briefings from overacting Americans. Really, it would make these things much better. Let's go back down here, though. I'm fairly sure she's got some more things to say to us. You,
Blazkowicz,
Caroline, what do you got to
there's
say for
nothing more
yourself?
to learn here. Please join my men at the church and help them destroy the Nazi weapon.
But it's not a weapon.
Go
It's
help
just a
the
silly
team.
contraption. Okay, so here is Hans Schmidt, and we
Herr
will talk
Blazkowicz.
into him.
I'm Hans Schmidt, radio operator.
Yeah, I know, I
for
can
the
read your
Kreisau
little
Circle.
thingy there.
I know you asked, but I don't have much on the Golden Dawn. Their leader,
did?
Leonid Alexandrov, was out
are you
of
doing
sight
with your
for
other
years
hand?
until recently. He thinks he's going to save the world from black magic, so he's either crazy or an idiot. Now, if you don't mind,
I
the
don't
two
think
rounds is ready
those
to
two are
work.
mutually exclusive, actually. Right, so let's
Things
talk to
aren't
him.
going well at the church.
No, they're not. Okay,
Things
so
aren't going well at the church.
stop repeating yourself. Okay, so now we've picked up 2 missions for the price of 1, so we can do either. We can either go and get. What are you doing there?
Auf Wiedersehen.
What?
There is no time to waste, Blazkowicz.
Okay, I'm
Follow
scared.
him to the church.
Okay, we're not going to follow him to the church, instead we're going to do the officer's house. Meanwhile, these guys are trying to execute a man, but they were bad at it. So, we've saved his wife. Now, there's a scribe over here attempting to inscribe these men, but we have defeated his ways, but we haven't. But now we have. There we go, you see. It was a very dramatic moment for a minute there, but then we shot this guy in the kneege, and that ended it by thwarting him. Right, so what we're supposed to do there is follow that guy again to the church, but we're not going to do that because we are instead going to finish off the side missions. We're going to go in here, you see, into the officer's house. But firstly, it's this lot again. Hooray. It seems that every time you go to the Kreisau Circle safe house, it respawns everyone. I guess that counts as exiting the map or something like that. I don't know. Normally they do stay dead for quite a while, though. It's just that they have decided to make it look like I am a liar and a fraud and a fool. So they have had death visited on them for that kind of trickery, and now we are going to go through this door here. But firstly, we're going to have a quick look around. That is the door to the officer's house. So, Alright, there's more guys shooting there. Okay, so we got some beer there. That was useful of us. But we don't need beer. We've got ourselves... We're bad enough shots as it is. Okay, so that's him out the way. And then we have got to just deal with the last two guys. And we can... doing this quite clearly to level up my experience or something. Right, so that's him. Load that up and then we can go into the officer's house at last. So, we'll go through here and pick up the last of the ammunitions. And then that is the end of this video, so we will go through the last door, press the thing to go to the officer's house. Right, so transitioning through this door apparently takes years because of the Doom 3 engine, you see, but that's it for this video. Join us in the next one. I've been Evil Tim. Goodbye. Go on, BJ, get infiltrating.